Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done.
Hi, we are here with
Kathy Garver.
What does Kathy Garver do?
Kathy Garver is an actress and a producer and an author and a speaker and a voiceover coach.
Wow, that's impressive. So what did you start at?
I started when I was a very small child in the movie The Ten Commandments. Not the silent version. I'm not that old.
Not that old.
But with Charlton Heston. So I've been working a very long time and enjoying mostly every minute of it.
So what'd you do for TV?
For television, I'm most well known as the character of Cissy in the classic television show Family Affair. As a matter of fact, some of my buddies and me are going to go on a cruise next year, November, in 8th to the 14th, 2019, and I'm sure a lot of the people will know some of these characters. There's Jerry Mathers, who was on Leave It to Beaver, and John Schneider from
Bo Duke.
Yeah, and he was just on Dancing with the Stars.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. I know he was on Smallville last as Jonathan Kent for a few years.
Yeah, and so we have a really good crew going. Barry Williams from the Brady Bunch is being the host, and there's other people, Greg Evigan.
Oh, BJ and the Bear.
Yeah, you know them all.
And,
you got to come on the cruise. Jimmy J.J. Walker. And,
Kid Dynamite.
Yeah, you got it. So we really got some really good people that are going.
So, in Family Affair,
yes.
How did you get that part?
Well, I had been acting, as I've said, ever since I was a child, and I had just started UCLA, and my agent said, oh, you've got an interview, and so we sped across town. They wanted a blonde, blue-eyed girl. Now, as you can see, if this is color, I do have blonde hair now, but I didn't then, and my eyes are brown, and they didn't have contact blue lenses. But sprayed my hair, went on the interview, and I'm sitting there with the producer, and he says, what's the matter with your hair? And I said, my hair? And he says, yes, it's turning green. I said, oh, must be the light. But we just started talking and had a great conversation, and the rest is history.
So how many years were you on Family Affair? Were your entire run?
Yes, and it's never really been off the air. The original years were for 5 years, from 66 to 71, which is very strange since I'm only 39. I don't really know how that happened. Of course, Twilight Zone was going on at the same time, so maybe they just crossed paths. But it's never been off. It went from CBS, then to FX, then to TV Land, then to MeTV, and now it's on like the cable things of Amazon and PureFlix streaming, and you just push buttons and you can find us.
So what other projects have you done that are just as popular as Family Affair?
Well, I was the voice of Firestar.
Yes.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is Amazing Friends.
Yes. And that was really lots of fun with Iceman, that was Frank Welker, and Spider-Man, and with Dan Gilvezan. Actually, that was I was looking for a book that Stan Lee wrote. Poor Stan Lee, as you know, just passed away.
Yeah.
But Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends was the first television series that had characters that Stan made directly for the TV instead of starting out as a comic book. Although
Spider-Man and Iceman were from, one was from X-Men originally, but his look was different.
Right, yes, and Firestar
was originally from the cartoon.
Was originally from the cartoon. Now she got a 4 miniseries comic book set, but that was after the show. So that was kind of his story.
Now she's a regular character in the X-Men.
Yes, I know.
She's one of the few characters that actually survived the wish away of the mutants.
Ah, yes, you are very knowledgeable, sir. Yeah, and I did other voiceovers. I did Pepper and Chuck Norris Karate Commandos, and I did Dixie and Dixie's Diner, and Kenya, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, and I did video games.
Are you the modern JoJo Bizarre Adventures series that's out now?
I did the anime one that was on DVD.
Okay, so there's a new series out now.
Yeah. See, it's interesting because a lot of the shows that I do, you know, there's a lot of progeny. Now, even for Family Affair, they tried to do another series of Family Affair that was not very good, and that lasted only 9 episodes. But we have a reboot of Family Affair going on now.
Oh, wow.
That will hit.
Is it going to have the surviving original actors and actresses in it?
Well, no, just me.
Okay.
Because everyone else, except for John Whitaker, has passed on. So
okay.
It will be me and Cissy.
Even the brothers and sisters from the show have passed on?
Yeah, yeah. The little girl unfortunately died when she was 18
I did not
of a
know
drug
that.
overdose. Now, I've written 4 books, and my 4th book was Ex-Child Stars, Where Are They Now? And I kind of chronicle what happens to child stars and, you know, what happened to, like, poor Anissa and, you know, fame coming too early and parents being a little
I've heard
too
what happened to the 8
greedy.
is Enough family.
Yes, right.
Because
Yeah.
your family predates what I would watch, but I knew you know the Family Affair stuff would funnel in, and the Partridge Family stuff funneled in after the Family Affair. All their garbage, same as the Brady's and the other show.
The Partridge Family?
Partridge Family.
Right, yeah. Now, speaking of the Brady's, I'm about to take a cruise, and this is going to be, and you're all invited, and this is next November of 2019, and from November 8th to the 10th, and it's all the classic stars. Well, not all the classic stars, but many of them.
Are they going to be adding new ones to it as you get closer to it, or is this
This is it now. We started out with 8, and we added 2 more, and then there are 2 bands that are coming. John Schneider is one of the classic TV stars that's on the cruise, and his band is coming, as well as Barry Williams from the Brady Bunch. His band is also coming. So that's like 12 celebrities that are going to be there. We're having special lunches, and we're having a talent showcase, and everybody's going to perform, and there's special discounts and private lunch with me and some of the other people.
So are you the one organizing this?
No, I'm a participant.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just wondering because you're really selling it well.
Thank you very much. That's because if you put in the promo Family Affair, you get a discount.
Oh, wow.
So that, you know, is like a little goad, but it's really going to be
So
fun.
on
You know,
this
really
classic,
memorable.
since you're talking about this classic, how many of the actors in this list have you acted with in other projects?
Well, I've interviewed a lot of them. Now, Barry Williams, I did a pilot with him called The Fixers, and that is being presented right now to CBS. So we'll see if that goes anywhere. And John Provost, I've worked with a lot. He was Timmy on Lassie. And Jerry Mathers actually did an episode of Family Affair.
Did he really?
Yeah. And so those are some of them. Yeah.
Going back to the Twilight Zone, were you ever part of that show ever?
You know what I did on the Twilight Zone, which
Yeah.
was really great? I have a friend from Chicago, Carl Amari, and what he did was take the original Twilight Zone television series and adapted them for radio. So I did 5 of the radio adaptations. I did one that Ida Lupino had originally done called the 12 millimeter something, and where she plays this movie star and aging, and anyway, I'm not going to be a spoiler, but we did that for radio. I think the biggest challenge was the one that I did with the woman that starts out, and she is alone, and all these small creatures start coming into
the
our
one
house.
that Sabrina,
and
the witches.
Agnes Moorehead did originally. Agnes Moorehead did.
Yeah, she's from
originally
Bewitched.
From Bewitched. Yeah. So it was just though this one woman, and so she really didn't have a lot of dialogue. A lot of it was just.
It's one of the
show
creepiest
theatric.
episodes in the run because it's like you got all these little, and then at the very end, the twist is it's the U.S.
Yes. So what do you do for radio if you have one character who doesn't talk?
that does grunts and groans.
Yes. So they gave me a husband. So we were able to talk and say, "Oh, honey, they're coming! Look at them!" And they'll stomp on him. Yes, and we don't want to be spoilers, but
No.
there's a great, wonderful end to that you wouldn't expect.
Did they change the ending from the original? So finding a radio show might be good because it's a variation of the original episode.
The which one?
Your radio show, because it's not.
Oh yeah.
It's because it was a silent interlude for the most part that you can't do on radio, but they did an interesting spin on it.
Exactly. And, you know, that might be a fun thing to do for the talent show. I was going to, because I've done a lot of radio all my life, and old-time radio I love. But George Burns and Gracie Allen have a great skit. So I was going to do that. But, you know, I think that's interesting to do the Twilight Zone because it has a history behind it, and then, you know, how people could know the original one and then how we changed it.
Because Sterling's Twilight Zone has withstood the test of time better than most of the other anthologies.
Yes, I agree. You know, because I think what happens, it's the story. I think, unfortunately, in so many of the shows that we have today, there's no story. You know, there's either graphics, which are fine, and special effects, but it doesn't involve the people.
No.
And, you know, the writing is just not as good as it was. And I know I won't talk anymore, but this is just my last thing I want to say, is because when we did Family Affair, our writers and producers came from film. And they were with Abbott and Costello and Bob Hope and really wonderful stars, but they wrote in a way that they were producing this great big movie. So even when we did Family Affair, it was on film, which made it warmer, and so it wasn't this, you know, very hard-edged tape. But they all had stories, and they learned, and they had the experience. So I'm off of my my little box here saying that get some stories in. I'm involved in 5 new projects that we're pitching, and I says, okay, the story is the thing. You know, your relationships, you know, are fine, but they are peopling what's happening.
Because the story and the tension that really makes the movie.
Absolutely.
Not the special effects and the flair.
Exactly. And like I teach voiceover in San Francisco, and one of the things that I teach is narration for audiobooks. I've read about 80 audiobooks and produced some. And I tell my students, the most important thing when you're narrating an audiobook, tell the story. You are talking to someone, telling them a story. Here we are at this wonderful Comic-Con in Modesto, and there are a lot of people that are coming in, and I hope to meet some more people and some more fans to talk with them because it makes me happy. Okay, there's a little story already, and I'm telling it to you.
Yeah,
and
you've told 2 or 3 stories.
Huh?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So any last words you'd like to say to the audience who would be interested in voiceover acting?
Well, what people can do is go to my site, www.kathygarver.com, or you can like me on Facebook, Kathy Garver, Kathygarver. Leave me messages there, and I'll direct you to where I am teaching.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.